What if the anxiety you feel when you're separated from your screen isn't a personal failing?
Right, like it's not just some lack of willpower.
Exactly. What if it's the result of meticulously engineered biological hacking? Welcome to this deep dive. Today we're looking at a radar entry from the Xander Grimm curatorial ecosystem.
Yeah, we're dissecting a fascinating book called Homo Dopaminus.
And our mission here is to really isolate how society has weaponized our dopamine circuits, basically turning the synapse into a marketplace.
Precisely. It's turning our fundamental biological drive for pleasure into a digital economy that just, well, extinguishes genuine merit.
And our capacity to wait, which is huge. Let's start with this concept of neurocapitalism.
Right, so to really grasp this, we have to look at the economic shift the book maps out. We moved from industrial capitalism, which, exploited physical...
Right, factories, physical labor.
Exactly. We moved from that to neurocapitalism. Today, human attention is the raw material. It's the most valuable resource of the 21st century.
So dopamine isn't just an evolutionary reward for survival anymore.
No, not at all. It's being actively harvested as a currency for mass distraction.
I mean, think about your own phone habits. Every time you open certain apps, it's like walking into a casino where the roulette wheel has been replaced by a predictive algorithm.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
It really feels like you're signing this invisible contract, right?
Yeah, sure.
Trading your autonomy for these tiny microdoses of validation.
And the mechanics behind that feeling are completely intentional. Digital platforms rely heavily on variable reward systems.
Because you never know exactly when the next notification is going to hit.
Right. You don't know when that next like will pop up, so your brain gets locked into this perpetual state of anticipatory desire.
The algorithm isn't designed to give you deep satisfaction.
No, it's engineered to keep you slightly unsatisfied, constantly craving that next hit so you keep scrolling.
Okay, so if our immediate reflexive attention is the new currency, that has to completely break how we value success in the real world.
It does. When the economy only rewards what is instantly stimulating, actual grinding hard work suddenly loses its market value.
Right, and that introduces the second conceptual axis, doped merit.
Yeah, duped merit. Viral visibility has essentially replaced deep, sustained excellence.
We're living in a system that ignores mastery and exclusively rewards the spectacle.
The book uses a really striking contrast here. You take modern elite footballers like 17-year-old Lamine Yamal.
Generating millions through instant global dopamine hits.
Exactly. But then look at the invisible pillars keeping society running. Exhausted doctors, teachers, caregivers.
We're devaluing the people who provide long-term stability just because their work doesn't offer a quick jolt of excitement.
Because algorithms are completely blind to knowledge or utility. They are programmed strictly to optimize for collective emotional arousal.
So we've substituted true achievement with this fleeting aesthetic of applause.
It's a fundamental inversion of how a functional civilization should operate.
And because our brains expect that instant slot machine payoff, it alters our experience of time. Waiting in line at the grocery store suddenly feels unbearable.
Grimm calls this waiting deficit syndrome. Historically, waiting was an evolutionary virtue, right? It required strategic planning.
But today it's treated as a pathology.
Because we're conditioned for instant feedback, our brains interpret delayed gratification as a literal threat, flooding your system with cortisol.
But there is a biological necessity to boredom, the default mode network, or DMN. Right?
Yes, the DMN is crucial. It's the background processor where the mind connects ideas and creates meaning.
Okay, I have to push back here, though. If society makes resting feel like a system error, how do you reclaim boredom without it feeling like agonizing withdrawal? Sitting completely still right now feels like a punishment.
Well, it feels like a punishment because you are literally experiencing chemical withdrawal.
So what's the solution? We just sit with the crawling in our skin.
Honestly, we're going to leave that unresolved today.
Hey, really? We're just leaving the cognitive friction there.
Yeah, that friction is the point. Tolerating that discomfort is necessary, but we can't neatly solve the waiting deficit here.
Fair enough. I think we need to explicitly state that we are only looking at the conceptual axis today, the operational layer.
The actual daily mechanics of reprogramming those dopaminergic loops.
Right. That is an iceberg we are not covering in this session.
It takes serious, structured work. True rebellion today is having the courage to tolerate slowness, but you need the right tools.
Exactly, which is why, if you want the applied work, you need to go to xandergrimm.com. That is where the actual operational layer lives.
Taking back your attention is the ultimate act of neurohygiene, but it requires that framework.
Absolutely. So, something for you to chew on as we wrap up. If our moral compass is increasingly handed over to algorithms that optimize for engagement rather than ethics, what happens to our shared humanity when good and evil are reduced to mere data probability values?
That's a terrifying thought.
Think about that the next time you feel the anxiety of an empty screen.